All right, we start the open space meeting at 7:05 on March 18th. We're being videoed. We don't have the minutes. I didn't copy them. My copy machine from Hotmail. We'll do, oh, okay, excellent. All right, I could copy these and we could read them together and you two could read them together and then
They were on the email, right?
Yeah, did you read them?
I didn't. Did you read them?
Yes.
Okay. Did you read them, Kate?
I didn't read them, but they were on the email.
Right.
That's
You can read them there?
That's my, that's the survey questions.
My phone dies.
This is,
Survey.
okay. Where did you copy them?
I only did one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait,
And I forgot to print mine out too.
Why don't we wait till next time?
Well, that's February 11th. I wasn't
Yeah.
at the meeting, so.
Right. So since we don't have enough copies, why don't we just look them over on the 11th, and then if we have changes, Ellen will be right here.
Okay.
So we'll skip that this time.
Yeah, those back.
Save it for next time.
Yep.
Sorry.
But you can put on.
Yeah.
And Ellen and I need to talk about the storage of agendas. That's part 3. It's okay. So we'll go to number 4, meeting with the school committee, which Kate and I went to the meeting, and it was a great meeting. I don't know if any of you watch it on video or anything.
I didn't.
Yeah. Okay, we actually.
I wait for the news in person.
Yes, it's been a while. We walked in and we realized we weren't on the agenda. So I went up to the superintendent and I was like, explained why we were there and everything, and he talked to them and he got us in before everything, almost before everything else.
Yep.
So that was great, right at the beginning, before all their stuff. So they were very receptive to, look at the notes. Okay, they were definitely into it. They were thrilled that we were there. They actually, a big point that they made was the right-of-way that comes from Martin Road, which when I looked at the map, there's actually 2, I think, that right-of-ways that go. But the one by the pond that we looked at, they said actually that is an emergency access to the high school in the event that there's an emergency. Well, they'll end up in the brook if they try to use it. So
Yeah, they're not going very
this
far.
would be a way for us to get it moved along a little faster if there was a back way
So
into
that
the.
makes a difference if it's emergency access to the schools as to what has to go on there for a bridge,
Mm-hmm. Right.
for what it can hold for weight.
And maybe there are other accesses. There's, like, I looked on the map we had.
But are you saying the emergency access right now is inaccessible?
Right.
Yeah.
There's,
Obviously,
there's
it doesn't.
I know, I saw your.
there's a lot of
your
other.
erosion pictures.
Ways to get into the school, but I mean, this is an emergency access that really, you'd be
Unless it was a
driving on
fire.
trails.
Yeah, unless
It's,
it was a fire.
it's the way, the backside, and
Yeah.
it eventually brings you out to the, to the running trail, but you could probably run a Jeep along there or whatever, but,
Right, but if it's billed as an emergency access, even if it's the 3rd or 4th backup, it should be in a condition that makes it usable to access the school.
mhm,
I mean, we know these things can always go wrong, so.
yeah. I mean, there's a million, it's all along Davis Street where we pulled in to look at the property. You can walk through there,
Quicker
the
access.
sand pits and everything. There's a lot, you could get a fire truck in there a lot better that way than you would over, but, just. So, and actually there's, when I looked at this and I see that was another access. Right here. Farther down Martin Road.
Really?
There's a piece of property that belongs to the town, the school town.
Huh.
So,
1, 2, 3, 4th one in. Have to check that out.
yeah. So, but, they said, yeah, they had a nature trail there one time and they'd love to do that more of that. They weren't really sure who had control still over the property. They assume it's the town, you know, but they're still not sure. We talked about the bridges and the grants.
So, but wasn't Mark there, Mark Munjum?
His wife was, and she
Oh,
brought,
Leslie was, okay.
yeah, she brought maps.
Because Mark, I think, was the original person to work on the mapping out the trails and figuring, and getting the
This
permitting.
is his map, yeah,
Oh, yeah, for
Okay.
the
cross-country.
cross-country.
Yeah, and I told him we were meeting tonight, because it would be great if
Yeah, that would be a good, yeah.
we could figure out, with his help, what needs to be done.
Yeah, and this is another map that he gave us,
That was
which,
an email.
yeah, it didn't print out totally on mine, but. So, you know, this is actually gives us better for elevation and everything for the trail.
Mm-hmm.
But,
How long is this trail?
let's see, it
Or is
is,
this is the cross-country trail, right?
right,
It was, what, 1.5 miles? Because I think they
I
have to
think
do
right.
it twice.
And then,
to
yeah,
do the-
right, they started at slightly different starting spot to make it
Yep.
3 miles, yeah. Around twice, so a mile and a half. And that's the one, this is the one that Becky had done.
Yep.
You saw, yeah. So, yep.
All right, so they're like, okay with the expansion of the trail system in there? And
They would like, definitely, they're very interested, right. And, you know, they're interested in finding out about, they said that the other bridge needed fixed too on the
Yep.
cross-country trail. It's just for the runners.
Yep.
We said grants, you know, they're talking community garden at some point, and maybe they could get the townspeople to take it over during the summer and harvest the vegetables. I'm like, all right, whatever, you know. Maybe they'd be better.
outside of our purview.
Right, they might be better with like a pollinator garden or something that they could,
Yeah, that's a good
Ooh,
idea.
that's a good idea.
Pollinator garden is a much better idea.
so.
Like the principals, I assume those were the middle school and grammar school principals. They didn't really introduce them, but
Yeah,
they were interested in they mentioned using it for well, I can't imagine grammar school needs service hours, but
yeah. They were definitely, and I got the high school principal's name. He definitely has a lot of community
It was
service hours.
middle
Josh?
school and high school, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah, they both, the middle school probably needs the hours too. I don't know whether they, but the community service hours, they're, you know, they have to do them to graduate, so.
So it sounds like if we came up with a plan and then had it ready to go in the fall, that these kids would be able, some of these kids would be able to work on.
Right, and actually, they said that maybe some of the kids would be, enjoy being involved in making the plan. You know, even at the end of this year, if they wanted to, you know, look at the topography and look at what we did and see if that's something that they think is, you know, come up with a better plan if they give them a try to do that or whatever. Or clear trails, I don't know.
They
But,
have them clear trails. That would work. I don't know about coming up with a plan unless they're involved with trails and how they need to be laid out and stuff like that. That's a
yeah, it's a specialty,
different
definitely.
ballgame.
And what it would be,
But they would be good for signage, doing
Yeah.
signage and things
Mhm.
like that.
Yep.
That would be good.
did they give you an idea of like what class we would talk to, or
The-
faculty person?
Well, yeah, the Josh Romano, the president, or the principal of the high school. He would probably figure, you know, just give him what we think we have for needs and see who he would suggest.
Okay.
I mean, maybe they have a wood shop or, you know, but, you know, there might be an orientation on outdoor sports or whatever that they might have
And
someone
I
that's
don't- and they could
interested
make
in
up some
trails.
maps, too.
Yeah,
They can make up some maps of the trails out back.
yeah. Signs,
A
maps.
kiosk with a map on it.
Yeah. Maybe online. And.
Oh, or maybe they could make a habitat brochure or something too.
Yeah.
That says, you know, this is, in this general area, this is the type of thing you might keep your eyes open for, depending on the season or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They were concerned about hunting. They talked about
Right.
that for a while, but I mean, they use it now when there's hunting, so.
Yeah. It's
He
like
kind of got, yeah,
State
the,
Forest or any of the other.
Yeah.
trails.
yeah, I guess the superintendent, Mr. Maines, walked into the woods one time and came head to head with someone with a rifle. And basically, he went to Chief Foley, and Chief Foley says, "You're not going to get hunting out of there." And Leslie Bro agrees. So people have been hunting in there for years, just like, and you know, I said, well, I live across, I have State Forest right behind me. I mean, you wear orange, you take precautions, you're aware, you know, so,
Yeah, and I would imagine they instruct all the cross-country kids to do that during
right.
the season, so.
Leslie says we've never had a problem with that, except for once a kid ran into a deer.
Those damn
But
deer.
they've never gotten shot at, you know.
It's a
So.
hazard.
So it seemed like, you know, it was very positive. Yeah, the school committee doesn't think they have any authority over the land. Who is? So we need to ask the Board of Selectmen who has authority over that land.
Or just the administrator.
So was
Yeah.
it Matt who sent us to school committee, thinking they had
Yes.
just to get their
But the
okay,
school
or?
committee said that what they did when that cross-country trail was put in track, they had to get permission from, you know, Conservation Commission and stuff like
Right.
that, and do it that way. I don't know if they had to go to the town administrator or not, because it is town property, so I'm sure they would have had to keep them in the loop on the whole
But Mark
project.
was the
Yeah,
person
he
who
would know.
Yeah.
would know, because he had to do the permitting.
Mhm.
So if there was conservation, he was the one who was the interface with them.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, and to at the access, they said, ask the town, like the fire, et cetera, and Conservation Commission about that bridge. But, yeah. So that was,
All right.
So what's the next step?
well, I guess we find out who has authority over the land. And
Now we start coming up with a plan.
and then go to this principal and see if the kids want to get involved.
Well, I think Becky's figure out the plan first, and then maybe divvy up where the
What-
kids can.
What they can do.
Where the students can plug
Yeah.
in.
So, yeah, okay,
Yeah, because I feel
plan.
like, see, I don't know if, yeah, it's planned to have the bridge in here, that right away, I don't know, you looked at it, we don't know where the boundary lines on that are.
Meetings is with the commission, conservation?
So
Two
two
doors
doors to the
down.
left.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And now
Yeah.
that we know that the town owns this, there's a possibility of, you know, coming up and making a loop down out to the road that way, so if they wanna walk down the road and walk in this way too,
Right,
for the neighborhood.
other access. Off Martin.
And then I gotta get a hold of Jeremy Porter and walk his property to find out where
The boundaries are.
the boundaries are, yep.
And cut up closest.
So we wanna make sure we're not
Mhm.
getting the trail over on his property.
Yep.
Because hers, Zito's is pretty well marked.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yep. All right, so we'll do the plan first,
Great.
Yep.
and then principal second.
Yeah, 'cause we're gonna need input about what they want for specs on that bridge too, because that's gonna make the difference in the cost.
Right.
Yep, so maybe, I mean, I had mentioned at the meeting that I knew, you know, I wasn't thinking about trucks or anything going across it, but I said, I remember when they were gonna do the North Street Bridge over, and they got these giant beams from some highway project somewhere. And I said, you know, Furno's on the Rec Commission, maybe we can talk to him about, you know, what does he have for stuff to put a bridge there, just, you know.
Well, and maybe we need to understand, you know,
You don't just leave
was there a bridge there before, and then for this
Yeah.
other,
No idea.
you know, so what level, type of bridge, or is it just enough to have it wide enough for a truck to ram? I don't know.
Yeah, but what do they mean, emergency access? Does it mean like a ATV or something to get in there for a search and rescue, or does it have to be bigger to accommodate fire equipment?
Right. That's a big unknown.
Very big.
Yeah, maybe I'll call Mr. Furno and ask him if he knows anything about that.
Well, I think if you talk to Mark first, he would,
Okay,
you know,
all right.
he was the one that basically created this cross-country trail, so he knows,
The land, he knows.
but also what permits were needed to do what. And so,
He's
I
the
think
one
that
that
was-
sent
Hmm?
out, Mark's the one that sent out that email for
Correct.
everybody, right?
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
all right.
because I think he would be able to just tell us
Yep.
what needed to be done in the beginning, and so does it need to be upgraded, or can some of that just be upgraded and left as
On the
original?
cross-country trail?
No, on the bridge and stuff.
Oh.
I don't know if you can upgrade that.
You mean- Oh, the one
The
that's
one on
already
the trail,
existing, the
yeah.
one on the trail? Yeah, that needs to be replaced.
Okay,
Because the stringers underneath it are two old logs.
okay.
It really
That's the
should
thing,
be
if you're gonna
replaced.
be talking, putting horses and things like that across instead of just kids, then
Yeah.
it has to be stronger.
Yep.
Is this also possible Eagle Scout project, or?
That particular bridge could be, yes. That,
The little one.
the little one, yeah. That big one, no. It's too big of a scope of a.
Well, it's just to
Okay.
keep in mind if there are students, maybe that's an opportunity, if there are Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so I guess I'll look into the other, call Mark and start working on that. Anybody else is welcome to do anything. If they do, we can just email each other and what the progress is.
So what is our timing on this? What is our goal?
We'll just get some
As far
answers and
as-
talk about it at the next meeting.
But as far as like grants, getting grants or anything, I know, didn't we just miss a grant? So presumably that's next year?
The North Face one is
Oh, right.
not gonna, that's gonna expire like in April. It has to be in by. But there's always other grants that are popping up here and there, so.
Okay.
Depending
gets
on what,
them.
once we have a master plan, maybe it could be a couple of things that we could go for. Because I'm kind of thinking that bridge might end up being pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one might be separate, but couldn't we also, depending on the component, maybe create a GoFundMe or something that would just raise money locally? So that we wouldn't have to go through a process that was driven by a grant cycle that could put us further down the, it depends on the expense, but I'm just,
Yeah.
you know, if it's a smaller expense, it might be worth just
And
creating it.
What degree they need something that there for the access, yeah.
You know, or if we need money for signage, you know, to
Mhm.
put, to
Yeah, that would be a nice thing to
redo the
fundraise for.
signage and the graphic or whatever, and if a student could do it, we could maybe raise a little bit of money.
Or Blackstone Valley Tech too.
But again, you have to think, I mean,
Next.
once we have a plan, we can see what the time horizon is, but like if you use the Voc School, you have to get in there next fall and then have, all of this is much longer.
Pre-plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, next is, all right, and then meeting with the Recreation Commission. I guess we're gonna get a new date when they can have us, I guess. So, yeah, since they're not coming tonight.
No, and the purpose, because I think I suggested this, but the purpose to meet with them is to talk about the questionnaire, I
Right.
mean, the survey, right?
Right.
And then say, okay.
Yeah. So do we want to look closer at the questionnaire? I was
I
happy.
thought it was at a good point
Yeah,
to
I
take
thought
to
it
the
was great.
recreation.
Yeah,
I just
cleaned
had
up
like a
the
couple
one
little.
thing that you
Yeah.
had, and I never
I know,
heard back from
I
you, so-
wrote it down and then I forgot to send it to you and I forgot to bring it, but it was like something minor, like grammatical. Yeah, so it was,
Yeah.
I don't know if I have, did you have another version from the first one? Or,
Sue had just pointed out that I actually had passive recreation in the first paragraph twice, so I fixed that.
how important? Okay. All right, well, I'm just gonna initial this and give it to you. And I didn't get you comments before,
And I
so
said,
sorry.
and I also found this. What is it, there's an S missing here.
Because I thought some of it just might be
Big stuff.
like number 5, the most important conservation recreation priority. And maybe that should be closer to the top, so they think about priorities before they start thinking about individual,
You have the same version?
maybe not.
Mm-mm.
Oh, no, that was like the first one. That was
Oh.
how many pages that we
Okay.
consolidated into this.
We can make you a copy and send it, or you must
You
have
can
had it
that one, I'll
online.
remember that correction, to ask for areas, so. Yeah, that was just stuff that were different ideas, different
Yeah.
questions, and threw it on a page, and then
Oh,
that's the
so
digested version.
you do still have this tax deductible in here on, like if there's a contribution to the town, tax deductible, you're on,
Yep, contribute this one.
These.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we have to do a little research before we put that in there.
Okay.
Because of the changes in the tax code.
Mm-hmm.
So this is still a contribution to a municipality, which might work, but because the charitable giving has been changed,
Mhm.
it might not be tax deductible, or maybe we put an asterisk and say, in some cases, this could be tax deductible.
Mm-hmm.
But we just have to be careful that, yeah. No, because
Right, just
I'm trying to-
Was.
don't want to mislead
yeah, so
anyone.
you could asterisk that, and then at the bottom, you could say,
Yep.
some of these options might
Mhm.
be tax deductible, depending on your.
Yeah, like we did with the support, the 1% tax increase, and then it says excludes low-income and elderly residents.
Yeah.
So 2.
Yeah, so, so then you said, on this one, visit these, outdoor, what's that the one, yeah. How often do you visit these? Town common isn't exactly, I don't know, I didn't think it was a rec area, and
Mhm.
then, town conservation
have,
areas,
like-
I don't know what we should do there. I don't know if we should even leave that in there, 'cause. Or, I don't think you have to name them.
A couple of them have names, right?
Yeah, they have signage.
Town Common sometimes have concerts and stuff up there, but that's not really.
I wouldn't call it recreation.
Yeah,
though.
okay.
I'm just,
Cross that one off.
yeah, I mean, some of the town conservation areas,
Yeah,
Have
definitely, yeah.
Mhm.
But I don't know if you want to list them, or do you just want to say town conservation areas in
Right,
general?
well, it says
just
town
see where they go.
conservation areas, and then it says which ones on this one, right? On the second one.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were
Curious.
saying, should we name them?
No.
You're asking-
Visit them,
Right, and then you're asking them to name them.
yes.
Okay.
Where do you go?
Mm.
Okay.
15 or more. I've been to all of them, like,
485 times a year, at least.
At least 2 a day, yeah.
Oh, what is your zip code? I didn't understand.
We were thinking of whether or not people were out of town.
Because where were we gonna put this?
What's the zip code?
That would be an economic indicator of people coming into town to use our areas.
No, but I mean, where were we gonna advertise the survey?
If it's on the town website, Facebook.
No, and you can put it in the different newspapers and things like that, so, okay.
Or you could just say, are you a resident? Rather
Yeah.
than zip code, and then you won't have to figure out all these different random
That's true,
zip
yeah.
codes.
No, but then you only know if they're a resident or not. I like Becky's idea that says
Where
Oh,
they're
Where are they
coming
coming
from.
from?
01569
Sutton, yeah.
is from,
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, so we see whether people
That
are
could be
coming in
cool, yeah.
from Connecticut, Rhode Island, yeah.
The other two here I was thinking of is gender. And I think income brackets would be helpful. So. Those are,
I have space to fit it in here to keep it on 2 pages.
Yeah.
Can do that. That's not even making narrow margins.
Yeah. You did good. And you, look at all the top, stuff you have up top here.
Cross that one off.
Did you want to do that as an electronic one too? Like through SurveyMonkey? As well as
Yeah, whatever
if
we
somebody
can,
needed a paper?
as many
Okay.
places as we can do it, yeah. We could even fix it up and send it to the people in the Recreation Commission, and they could go over it in
Well, you
their
can,
leisure
you can do one of
time.
these in Google too. As
Yeah.
a survey. right?
Is that like unlimited now? Because I know SurveyMonkey, you can only do certain things with the free version now.
Google, you can do it.
Yeah, Google might be better nowadays.
Yeah, they have some nice
Because I think
graphics, too.
SurveyMonkey, you could only do certain kinds of, radio buttons and this and
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Like it was
So I'm
limited
gonna
now.
change, so I'll make that a 1 star. And then this one here could be a 2 star.
Yeah.
So the 1 star,
And Google lets you take different, it can be yes, no, or it can be
Right.
ranges or,
Choose all of them or,
yeah.
yeah. I've only
So
used that one a little bit.
maybe
but-
tax deductible.
Right.
This one, all right. You don't need money to buy land. That should be done.
It's just, yeah, it's gonna,
Tax deductible.
it's gonna hit some people like, really? They want me to send them some money to buy some land,
I know.
It's like,
Yeah, we have to
yeah,
check those.
Restrictions are, but that should be.
That- it's a
yeah,
good
CRs are
concept.
Tax deductible. Right, review to limit future use of the land. Sell land to the town in the bargain price, so that would be the difference between the selling price and the market price.
Yeah.
That would be tax deductible. And if you donate money to the town, would that be tax deductible? It's a town that's not a nonprofit.
It's a yeah, I'd have to check that, because that would be donating to a municipality versus a 501c3.
Right.
So if you donate your land as conservation property to the town, there is a mechanism to get the tax or previously there was a mechanism to get, be
donation.
treated as the same as a 501c3.
Yep, all right, well, we'll start next to that one too. Cover our bases just in case.
But we can always make that work if somebody wants to do that. But the question is, how does this how does this even qualify at this, some of the time for, as a tax deductible in the new world?
Mhm.
Anyway, if you want help setting this up as a Google form, which means that you can, then you have a link and you have different ways, you can email it to people, there's all sorts of.
I've never played with the Google or SurveyMonkey to set one up. Taken them, but I've never set one up.
Well, we were just talking how SurveyMonkey seems to be limiting the free access more, but Google is still pretty much wide open for different responses, so you don't have to just do a yes, no response type of thing, so when we're at that point,
Yeah.
we can help you do that.
All right. Should we maybe move the contribution question closer to the bottom? Both so we get everybody to answer most of the questions before they're like, what? You want me to give money? And throw it away. And also it might show them like, oh, I use this, and then if the question is, would you donate anything?
For
it's-
free, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll move the whole thing towards the end of the survey,
Well-
right?
Just so you're not hit right away with, give us money.
Yeah.
Because
a good-
that's not
yeah.
really what we're,
That's a good
going for.
suggestion, but it'd be great to run this by
yeah.
folks, recreation.
Yeah, definitely.
To get their
Yes.
feedback, so
Yeah.
that before we change it around.
Yeah.
But that's, yeah.
Maybe we should move along, yeah. All right, all right, next is cleanup, which, I know I mentioned to them at the school committee that last year we had 2 cleanups in town, both on the same weekend. And, we'd really think that it would be great if the kids just did it, took over or whatever. But then I was thinking, we do have a budget of $500 that we never use. And, no, 100, I'm sorry, yeah, 100
thought
was, used to be 500.
Yes, 100.
Maybe we could figure out a plan to buy, I see trash, I don't want to pick a weekend day to go out and give up. I would rather just have availability to maybe, buy $100 worth of blue bags or something like that and distribute them around town, and people can pick up trash with them and leave blue bags along the street, and the highway department takes care of it or something like that and brings it to the dump. So just, if you have an hour and you want to walk down your road and just drop a bag, or figure out whether maybe the bags could be brought to the dump by people who don't have stickers, they have some kind of a way to get in there, and just so we are contributing somewhat towards a cleanup, but not that we have to run. There's plenty of kids there that,
Yeah.
Are they gonna do it this year?
it was a random community service project last year, so that person has graduated.
So we don't know if they.
All right. I could ask this Josh guy, anybody doing a cleanup? Uxbridge is April 6th. I saw that in the paper.
90 homes already.
No, it'd be good to know
Yeah.
if one of the students is doing that for Earth Day. How, I don't wanna buy trash bags. How do we get a bigger bang for our buck? And,
Yeah. Just an idea.
no, I'm just,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we do a, what is that Scandinavian thing? They jog and pick up trash or something like that. It's the gimmick. But I don't know.
Jogging very quick on some of these roads.
Yeah.
Break an ankle.
Too much stopping to pick up trash.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the whole thing. Us picking up trash every year is a drop in the bucket. How do we get a bigger
Right.
message or something out there? I mean, I pick up trash every stinking day.
We could try to get a nip bin. Except
Get a
they're
what?
all coming from out of town.
Yeah.
I'm sure, a lot of them.
Well,
A nip
I'm
bin.
not gonna go that far either.
Yeah.
because,
I don't want that fight.
I mean, somebody tossing 5 nips a day isn't necessarily coming from out of town.
No, I just meant the nips were, not the.
I don't really want to take rings off 1,000 nip bottles again this year. Or 2,000.
Maybe we could sponsor a nip art project or something.
Safe nip site. Turn your nips in. Turn your nips in at the municipal center, and we won't.
Yeah, we won't
You
point.
don't
Take
need a
your
dump
name.
sticker.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what do we need, like anti-littering campaign again? Like,
Well, there are
you know.
fines. There are fines that are
Yeah, I
completely
know.
unenforceable
I
because
know.
if I report somebody, they're like, "We didn't see it.
Yeah.
We can't do anything." Then what's the sign for?
Yep.
Why bother?
There's someone that comes down to the boat ramp at Wallem Lake every night and throws Bud Light cans into the little pond on the side.
Really?
Blah, 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 blah. And that's what I'd love to put a critter cam there.
That's what we need.
I don't know. I mean, if you guys want to do a cleanup, or I'd love to see the kids take the initiative and then,
Right.
we,
Yeah.
like you
I'm
said,
gonna call them
piggyback
up.
on that. But
Yeah. And maybe ask if we could support somehow or whatever. I could ask that,
sure.
you know, 'cause, I mean, we never spend the $100. We could pitch it into them to,
Yeah, but if you want to do this trail and maybe a map or something like that, that sounds like a
yeah.
prospect to use that money.
Yeah, well, when we made maps before, we needed all $500 to do it. So, and there's not many of those maps left, but
I might have some more.
really, I think I got all yours.
Oh, maybe you did. But anyway, I'm gonna get, well,
Yep.
if there's something else that's, but I'm not trash. But
Yep, no, okay, that's fine. Yep. Just, I'll ask about it, and it's not our responsibility to do it every year, but it'd be nice to think of a way to,
Or is there a sign
Support.
we could make that says, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
what happens to you later when you throw trash?
No, but keep Douglas clean. I mean,
Yeah, when we lived in Thompson, I remember they had raised money to do that. They put signs and trash barrels in public places. That'd be more than $100, but.
You can get people to donate things, you know?
Yeah, I think this was, I don't know, it was some association that donated.
all right, so you'll call and then tell us
Mhm.
if they're gonna do it or not, and then if they're not gonna do it, maybe we can revisit.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. That
Maybe
sounds
pick
good.
the filthiest site and do a flash mob pickup on whatever day.
If I didn't have a dog, I'd be going up and down the streets, but
I know, it's a little
hairy.
dangerous.
Yeah, dog pulling in.
What day? It's
Birthday?
it's the 20. Is it 22nd?
22nd.
So that's a Monday this year. So we have the 20th and the 21st.
Is that Easter? That's Easter. Easter's the 21st.
Yeah.
Well, instead of picking up eggs, pick up trash.
Yeah,
for me.
We can do that. That'd
There's
be
a
good.
basket.
Yeah. Non-plastic
Turn
basket.
trash for eggs.
Ooh, trash for candy. That would really get the kids going.
Yeah.
How much can you bring in? Here you go.
Do it by the pound. Put it in the bag and weigh the bags.
That would be fun.
That'd be fun.
Get a big scale. Ooh, how much trash did you bring?
We did that one year up at Lake Denison for one of our Earth Day rides. We use the horses as pack animals to
Yeah.
tie the trash bags on, and Larissa wanted to see who got the most. And so she did, she weighed everyone's trash stuff. Of course, you could come back with a tire, right?
Yeah.
Or you're
Rather
throwing
than-
rocks in as you go along.
No, it was not a trash.
No, you just fill all your
Yeah.
bottles, your resealable bottles with water.
Yeah.
Tip the scale.
Yeah.
You have to carry
Yeah,
this.
yeah, so-
That's why we had
The
a
downside,
horse.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. And I was looking through here where, you know, we zeroed in on the school property. But then on this same side of town where we don't have a state forest, I looked at, you know, maybe another one to start thinking about, one here or here or here for, you know, this is unknown, and that's conservation. This is conservation. You knew about the Southeast Maine. But, you know, to mention that we could get people to do trails on these if we got a group of kids that were into that. Eagle Scouts, whatever.
Maybe possibility for people up in this area to take a walk,
Yeah. Yeah.
make it circular.
This one, I don't know, it's just gotta go in. This is where your friend rides, right? In Southeast, or she knows about the Southeast Maine.
Walks the dog. Walks the
Mhm.
dogs back there. She actually went to the Conservation Commission meeting to get permission to go clean the existing trail that's already out there. I don't know what's out there. I haven't been out there. But that's something else that should be GPSed and
Mm-hmm.
see what is out there.
Yeah, the topography and the wetlands, but what did they say when she asked them if it was okay to clean up?
Oh yeah, they said it was okay.
They didn't say, don't touch skunk cabbage or anything like that, or if there's
No, this is
wetlands
this
that,
existing trail that's already out there.
right,
It's just blowdowns and
Yeah.
it's getting overgrown to open it back up again.
Good.
So it's maintenance of whatever's already existing out there. And the only reason she did that because her neighbor was saying something about, you go down on my property, you can't do anything back there. And she goes, well, I think maybe I can. So that's why she went to the meeting and got
Mhm.
permission.
yeah, good, yep. Yep, so there's plenty of ones that we could, you know, mention that to the school committee guy too, the principal, if he's looking for other people to, he could always contact us and we could think of something for them. We could do a walk sometime if we wanted to do a site walk or something.
Well, it would be great to walk that school trail because
Yeah.
I didn't even, I mean, I knew there was a trail out there, but I never knew it was used for cross-country or anything like that, and probably a whole bunch of other people don't know either.
Becky and I bushwhacked it. Through the laurel trees and everything. And can you cut laurel? I don't know. Are you allowed
Yeah.
to? Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Oh, I know,
not
but
protected.
I've heard that it is, before it used to be, I think. Or something. Anyway.
Yeah, so there's a resource there for, town residents to use. With some work, it could be
Right.
quite
Opened
nice
up
to
and
access it from different areas and.
Yeah, and knowing that would be a great way to get more people involved.
Yeah.
You've got this path that's not far from downtown, and this is a great trail to walk or
Mhm.
jog, so, yeah.
So anything about Castle Caves? Did you ever find out anything there? Yeah.
No, but do we want, is it walkable now?
This one is, she walks her
No,
dog.
no, the one at the
Oh.
school.
The cross-country trail is definitely, but the one that we've talked about enlarging it with the yellow trail that we followed,
Right.
So,
that is not a trail.
The sections here in red are walkable,
Existing.
yeah, when they're just kind of dead ends. Well, it continues on a private property, but, so our purpose is a dead ends. And this is where the missing bridge is right there. But yeah, so, yeah, it's easy enough to walk this whole section. See, they have a loop with their thing, because they're actually going
Around the school, right?
around the school grounds.
Right.
And I suppose people that are just hiking will be okay. I wouldn't be putting horseback riders through there. Or I
Right.
don't think mountain bikers should be going through there either. So that's why I was trying to work on making some other loops out here to keep
Mhm.
trail users out of here instead of trying to go through the school. That was the idea on that.
This one was actually still there, and I wonder if that goes out to, this other access.
Now, when you get town property, who is it? Does the town survey that to get boundary lines?
Well, that should be transferred with a deed. You should have a recent survey when it's transferred.
Yep.
Does the
It'd
town
be interesting.
have anyone they use for surveying, or is that going to still have to be an outside
Was
expense?
was that a conservation parcel?
This is conservation.
Because you should ask Steve Zisk about the boundaries.
Do they go out every 5 years and remark them to keep the boundaries updated?
I think they used to, I don't know what their
Yep.
practice is
Alright.
right now.
And like town-owned property, the school property.
They used to have yellow markers with a salamander, marble salamander on it, that said Douglas Conservation.
Around the borders, or, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were using those for property bounds.
There's no way into this guy, I don't.
See, it depends on how it was transferred. Is it part of was it part of a subdivision plan that this parcel wasn't able to be developed, so they gave it to the town, or was it a private owner, or?
Owner unknown that never came up with the money, or.
Yeah, or that piece on Northwest Main Street we purchased through Chapter 61. It abuts the state forest. It's a part of the, off the Beagle Club.
And then there's tiny little parcels like in
Middle.
Nita's backyard.
So, it depends on the parcel.
So we should ask Steve about the
Well,
boundaries.
that one in particular, he would probably be able to tell you. He's a conservation agent. He should be able to tell you how those bounds are marked.
All right. So the plan is, let's see. I have a few other things. We never wrote a letter to the Board of Selectmen about our
Yeah,
being
I'll
mad
have to.
about that. I sent you a sample type of thing, but
I didn't get a chance to do that.
yeah. We're waiting for the next one to come up from that guy, which, he's got a lot left on him. He does. I marked it down on here. He's got 67 acres that he hasn't sold yet, Paul Chase, and more on the other side of the street, and it's so wet down there. It's incredible. It's hard to even drive down Orange Street right now.
Yeah.
I'm
The water
reluctant
table's
to
so
go
high.
there without a cell phone. I wouldn't drive down Orange Street. So,
Oh, the water table's very high,
yeah.
so.
I wouldn't be opposed to contacting him and asking him what else he has in mind for that, and if he wants to donate it to the town, or if knowing
Do it.
all of it is wet. Yeah.
Do we still have his info from the?
Oh, yeah.
It's great habitat.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's wetlands.
But that doesn't mean it can't be used like as an open classroom or something, because you do some boardwalks and,
Well, it goes right back to Chase Pond.
Yep.
And my daughter's friend is building a house along there. They walked behind, they're one of these lots. And they walked behind there and there were all these otters. It's really nice back there. And, you know, the other side on the sand pit and then the cemetery hanging off over the
Yep.
sand pit. And then the cemetery on South Street there, Tasseltop area.
yeah.
So it's, you know, a lot of wild stuff in there that who's going to build in the sand pit, you know, and they do sometimes, but
That would be great to ask him, or if he's open to a meeting, we could sit down with him, whatever.
see what he's got, see what's left, see what's wet, see what's even usable.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll write him a letter. And you're gonna ask Steve Zisk, Becky? Or
Ask him about
yeah, yeah. I mean, I can. You want me to call him? I know.
Sure. No. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, all right. I'll stop opening my big mouth now. All right. I guess Tim Bowen isn't gonna make it tonight. Anything else that you want to talk about? Good for now to follow up
good.
on this, what we've got going already. It's enough.
Yeah.
All right, and looking at the next meeting, April 15th at 7 PM. All right. Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. The meeting is ended at 8 o'clock.